Camouflage cat, mail call, and more importantly a channel update, and more importantly a Shire update, because I know you guys have been thinking what's going on with the property. And I'm certainly not going to let you follow along in the depth that Praxis Prep has been doing it with his property, but I do want to keep you in tune with what we're up to. So basically today's Thursday, and as you all probably know, most of you know, Friday follows Thursday, and Friday and Saturday, Sunday night I'm at work, and then I'm off for 17 days. And I'm excited by it, and being full-time I get paid, so that's a major bonus. But it will drop my vacation down to about 280 hours only at the end of all of this, which is kind of sad. I don't know, being old has its rewards in healthcare. Anyways, the Shire property, as you'll see in the following pictures, is started. It was supposed to be maybe started in May, but the contractors had some issues scheduling and whatever. So what they did was, over a couple of days, they came in and they prepared the ground for the foundation and installed the septic system. They've given us a massive heavy-duty septic system because there's 4 of us. We're currently trying to decide what we want to do with the washrooms and stuff. I think we're actually now going to go to 3 normal flush toilets. Water's not an issue. They'll be gravity fed anyway. We can empty the septic frequently. In a grid down where I might want to use human poop as manure, we can separate that ourselves and figure that out, and we'll get the old outhouse up and running. That's been moved temporarily. The move to Cherry Tree, but unfortunately Fiona lost quite a few of her external to her garden flower beds. She was hoping to move them but never got time. But we will rebuild, and we will rebuild stronger. So what this is a long rambling way of saying is I won't really be commenting on your videos while I'm away. And I hate that. I like to actually go into people's videos and watch them, watch most of them or all of them, and make a comment or two that has actually some realistic reason behind it. I like to have the engagement both as a channel host with you and also engaging as a follower of you on your channels. I think that's really important. It's one of the main reasons I enjoy YouTube. Obviously it takes a huge amount of time and effort, and obviously the more subscribers you get, the harder and harder that becomes, and at some point you have to make rational decisions. What it amuses me is people with like less than 200 or less than 300 subscribers who barely comment on people who comment to them and almost never visit channels and make comments. It's a strange thing. But, you know, people are people, and that's cool. I subscribe to you because I like your content. I don't subscribe to you to make you subscribe to me. I think that's fool's gold. But, you know, a lot of people do. Anyhow, so the Shire's doing great. It's actually going to be built. It could still be built this year. I'm still suspecting it'll be next year. Unfortunately, because of my retirement, I've had to push that to January 2021 because I took 4 years off at Sunnybrook because I was very mad at them, and that hit my pension. So I get a reduced pension of 3% if I go before January 2021, and I'm too tight to do that. So the extra finance while I'm working will help out with the credit line to pay for the Shire property and any delay in selling this property. So if any of you guys want to move to Newmarket and want to give me a load of money in the next year and a half or so, drop me a line. Newmarket's a great place to live, but massive suburbs are being built. As the Angry Canuck said, it's part of the GTA. So what this really means is you won't really be seeing me online at all till probably the late second, probably the 3rd week of August. And I'm going to put up a whole bunch of videos related to kayaking and Kitty's experience. I want to get this for the first time in her life to actually tip the kayak in the water. I think that's really important to do that, and I haven't done it for a while either, and I need to do it, and I'll be doing it first, just to show her that without skirts with these particular kayaks you just literally pop out without even realizing it. It's really safe, and in a way it's actually somewhat fun, and show her how to use some of the gear and equipment that we all use, and generally just relax, read books and have a spiffing time. I will be taking quite a bit of red wine for her, but I'm not telling her. Anyway, so one of the great guys, Brad Harris, if you subscribe to his Patreon for $10 a month, he sends you these cards every month and with a newsletter. And I think that's a great idea. And I might steal the newsletter idea in the fall if I'm not teaching. It's pretty time dependent. I don't think you should start gimmicks and tricks I think what you should do is you should think of things like he has and actually use value, give value to people and do it regular, make a commitment to do it regular. So I don't have the time for that, but I think kind of a medical featured newsletter might be good. The other thing is that my second channel, that will be going live probably during my trip, towards the end of that time off, and that's going to be a human climate change, abrupt climate change channel. Where there is solid prepping videos uploaded to that, I probably will shadow them to this channel, but I do realize a lot of people don't like climate change videos, and there's plenty of news sites out there on climate change. Mine will be different. Anyway, what did we get from Brad? I haven't seen these. This is, I have no idea which way this goes. Description keys, pairs, stop here. Okay. Key value pairs. Okay, so this means something. Chinese lettering. That's a good idea. Marking things with a permanent marker that actually tell people that follow up behind you can interpret the information if it's safe or not. Ah! Look, it's a snake. Snakes are lovely. Watch Gay's channel. Python something. I'm sorry, Gay. I'll link it below. Watch her channel if you're friends.
Archie out with my granddaughter Rashana. It's the first time she's actually got to hold Archie. Of course, Noah's here and going, I'm going to have my turn too, naturally, because it is beautiful little Archie.
Snakes and learn to love them. This is talking about anti-venom and stuff like that. Don't bother the snakes, they won't bother you. And this is the human eyes evolved to pick out objects in nature that appear out of place in the natural world. Talking about camouflage, talking about preserving filament. You know, basically what you're getting is a solidly card that will probably outlast your lifetime with detailed and thoughtful information on it. Ooh, this is cool. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. This is disaster strikes, distraction, dark versus night, using tools like thermal imaging to actually give yourself an advantage. That's pretty cool. Pretty sure that's Brad because he's bald. Sorry, Brad. Eggs. Eggs is life. 40% of adult Western population experience systems of gastroesophageal reflux disease at least once per week. Okay, not going to read the rest of that. Basically, you shouldn't, and if you are, it's because your diet and lifestyle are wrong. Fix them. You can use a little tablet, but fix it with natural methods, which I'm pretty sure he's talking about, and he's talking about using eggs for that. Now, as an aside, as a vegan, I don't buy or use eggs. We used to eat eggs because a neighbour of ours had 2 or 3 chickens which she loved, and if they were cold she brought them into her house, and there was no ever any thought of anything of those chickens dying other than by natural causes. So most, if not all, of the eggs that you buy in the grocery stores and in farmers markets, they replace the hen stock about every year to 2 years to increase the laying, and they do that by killing them. And they also, when they breed their new chickens, they wait for the male chickens to assert themselves and then they dispose of them. And as a vegan, my main point of being a vegan is to actually live as close to balance with the natural world as I can, but to avoid inflicting cruelty on other sentient creatures. So that's why I will eat eggs when we have chickens, but the chickens will be pets. Because chickens are people to me and Kitty. Anything that's sentient deserves respect, and non-sentient objects like rocks you should also treat with respect. Brad and Kelly send a newsletter, and this is what I'm thinking I will steal from them. I think I can do this maybe quarterly, maybe put like a little magazine out. Let's go old school, and do it by post. This one is the Integrative Protective System, Deterrence, Detection, Defense and Defeat, and brief explanations of all of these and how to deal with it. It talks about Yemen, Syria, Yellow Vest protests, Venezuela, crisis events come and go. And like I was saying, so you know, he asks you questions, and questions are always good. How will you protect your house? What about your food and livestock? When considering methods and alternatives to your style of retreat protection, give thoughts to the following IPS system that is currently in use in varying degrees by the US military. Yeah, good stuff. Thanks, Brad. Haven't heard of the IPS. I can now go beyond this and look in more detail at it. It looks straightforward and it looks sensible. Okay, this one's a fun one. This is from the great state of Oregon, which I believe is in America. So I'm pretty sure this will be from my favorite channel, my favorite sub. Okay. Oregon Coast beverage thing. Keep my beer cool. Very useful. Thank you, Reverend Christine. Ooh. This is I guess a free banking purse from Port Orford, Oregon. Now, I have a feeling Kitty might try and steal this off me because she's been bleating on about a change purse for some time. But I'd actually like to have this myself and use it as part of my tactical kit, to be honest, because it will always remind me of Reverend Christine and the fact you can live alone and in the wilderness forever. And, ooh, she sent me money. If anybody out there will send me money, I'm currently, I believe, 999,997 subs away from getting a haircut on my Patreon. Ooh, it's Walking Liberties. I guess you guys are all really familiar with these. I am not, being Canadian. So it's solid silver. Does it have a face value? I don't know if it has a face value or not. I like silver coins in small amounts. I'm not a silver bug, but I like them to have face value. So do the Walking Liberty have a face value? I don't know. Beautiful coins. Don't tread on me. Okay. So that's it for me. The Shire property has started. I will take a lot of video and photographs when we go up there as well. The second kayak trip overnight of the year will start in about 2 weeks, about a week or two, and I'm looking forward to that. The channel will resume its normal capacity during that. There will be some Thursday fun going up. There will be the last part of the long voyage back, and they will be dedicated. The last one's going to be dedicated to the Reverend Christine. And what else? Yeah, and the Total Collapse series, that's also going to have 1 or 2 episodes coming up while I'm away. And there's also a few other bits and pieces that I want to put up. And I hope you enjoy my channel. I do enjoy yours. And have a great summer if you are in the Northern Hemisphere. And have a great winter if you're in the South. Remember, it's not if, it's but when. SACF will always happen. And if we get into fantasy mode, if we get into buying whatever we can buy to try and fix our problems, we need to take a more strategic look at this. It's all very well using Walmart, it's all very well using cheap alternatives and loading up on cheap stuff. At the end of the day, I'd rather have a solid silver coin than one that's half silver and half alloy. This will always give me more value in grid down than an imitation or a reduced type of a coin. And the same with water filters, the same with whatever dehydrated food you get. If you're eating milk solids and salts and preservatives and chemicals and colorings and dyes that cause cancer in the long term, it's not the best thing. And if it's all you can afford, then you'll have to do that, right? But you should try and afford the best survival equipment that you can afford, even if that means waiting and suffering maybe a bit to get it. Because surviving is reliant on skills and luck, mainly. But without decent gear that will hold up, you're in deep trouble. It's like people have the survival blankets, but survival blankets don't really last that well long term. Maybe instead of getting a 50-cent or a dollar store survival blanket, maybe save up, and if you want a survival blanket, get one of the ones that's partially tapped and sealed that you can reuse again and again and again, or you can use it realistically for rainwater collection. A cheap survival blanket, it's single use. Single use has a point, but what you want to do is to be able to put yourself in a position where you can survive and thrive as far as you can 6 months, a year, 2 years after an SHTF event, if you are truly prepping. If you are just into emergency preparedness, so you want to deal with a short-term issue and sail through it, then that's absolutely fine. And it's nice to look at the craziness of prepping and think, I don't need a bunker, I don't need a $500 water filter. Then don't get that. But be honest with what you're prepping for. If you are prepping to just have a couple of weeks of food or a couple of months of food and a couple of months of water and then get you back to work again and use the ATMs again, then that's fine. But you might be caught short, and if you are caught short, you're in the same position as people who haven't prepared after that period of time, and what you've got is used up. So remember, an SHTF tomorrow will always be worse than today, unless you're prepared. And if you're not prepared mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, skilled, with supplies, and have optimized your luck by location, it always will be. Bye! Toodles. Thanks, Christine.
She's waiting for love to